All right, Angie Tillman's joining us now from Blount Memorial, and you're actually showing us how to make a black bean, corn, and feta dip. I will have to tell you, this is probably one of my most favorite dips.
This is like, if I take this somewhere, people love it, they rave about it. It's a no-brainer, it's easy, and I really wanted to emphasize just how easy it can be to have on hand frozen produce, canned produce. We talk a lot about fresh vegetables and fruits, and that's always important, but I love to have canned beans on hand. They're awesome for soups and stews and dips. Fresh or frozen vegetables. The great thing about having some of these things on hand is I talk to lots of patients and they'll have fresh vegetables and they forget to use them and they throw them in the trash, and there's a lot of there's a lot of food waste involved.
Tons.
So
Absolutely.
having some frozen spinach, some frozen berries on hand, just a great way to extend the shelf life, and you get the same nutrition from frozen or better
right? Because it's flash frozen right off the vine or whatever, and so it actually locks in the nutrients, right?
Absolutely. So if you're not eating enough vegetables and fruits, think about having more frozen and canned things on hand. So with that, I threw together this super easy dip, and this is a 16-ounce bag of frozen corn, and I thawed it and rinsed it off, just let it drain really well.
Okay.
And then I've got 2 cans of black beans. When you use canned produce, you definitely want to rinse them. There is usually some sodium added, so I rinse those off and drain that really well.
And that probably you can buy cans, right, of frozen beans, or not canned
vegetables
that
lower
don't have
sodium,
lower sodium, and that have better cans, correct?
Absolutely.
Because there's been controversy over the cans.
There has been about some of the lining of the cans. No, there is, but
you got me for the segment. Sorry about that.
But just rinse it it well, and use your beans. So black beans. Then this is just about 5 or 6 green onions, scallions chopped up. Again, a lot of these things you might already even have on hand. And then a 6-ounce feta cheese. You could use a little less if you wanted, but it makes it really yummy.
If you didn't want canned, you know, you can buy the dried ones already and just put them in a water and let them rehydrate
You can cook a full thing of beans if you want. Now the key is the dressing. This is a white balsamic vinegar. If you don't have that on hand and you have an apple cider, that's pretty good too. But the white balsamic just has such a great flavor. I'm going to do about
Is it a different flavor than the regular balsamic?
Just a slight different flavor. You should try it. It's really good. You can find it in just about any grocery store in the vinegar section.
I love vinegar.
White balsamic. I'm going to add some olive oil to that. And a little bit of honey.
What's the honey for?
The honey just gives it this touch of sweetness that sort of balances out the vinegar. You don't have to do it, but it really makes it taste really good when you add just a little bit of honey.
So I mean, how easy is this already?
Look.
And like, listen, how many times have you tried to go to a tailgate? You're like, okay, you got invited to a tailgate. You got kids running around, whatever. And you're like, I don't have anything.
Look in your pantry. Improvise. You could use a different bean if you had it. Labor Day weekend cookouts perhaps coming up. Mix that up with a little salt and pepper. Pour it over, stir that up. I'm going to serve it with some tortilla chips, but it's just a super easy dip. This is sort of my go-to for cookouts and parties. That's it.
See, folks, come on.
Does not get any easier than that. And I really just like to remind people, try some frozen, try some canned. We all need to eat more vegetables. Have that on hand and make it a little bit easier for you.
And this is the kind of dip, I guess the cheese is in it. I was going to say, you don't really necessarily have to keep it cold.
You don't.
Because you got these tailgates, it's hot. I mean,
right. If this is out, I actually love to just take a little ice pack and sit underneath it so it stays a little chilled, but you don't have to worry that much about it because we don't have any creamy mayonnaise or anything like that.
Any other recommendations for tailgates? Come on, I know you guys
eat more vegetables, have fun, don't worry about it, and have a good weekend.
All right, very good. Angie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And of course, you ready for some football?
Let's do it.
I mean, are you serious?
Yeah,
we got it. Absolutely. I think we got a little extra time, so if you want to go ahead and take the maps again, we can actually show a little bit of a forecast. Maybe. Okay, no, we're going to go to break right now. All right, Angie.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. We'll be right back.